The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon from TFNN. Welcome to the May 31st. Terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And of course, the easiest way to do that, it's to always remember that life happens for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Today, you and I, we're going to go look at the circumstance of these markets, what the bulls and the bears, what the buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more importantly, I'm here to serve you. So feel free, and now is not too soon, to pick up that phone. Dial on in at 877-927-6648. Of course, internationally, 727-445-1044. Of course, you can ping me inside the Tiger's Den and send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. I'll do everything I can to get to each and every question that you have out there. So I hope you had a great, safe holiday weekend, that you had an extended weekend and got a little bit of rest in. The market got some rest, came back, and right now, I won't say roaring, tiger roaring to the downside, but it is roaring to the downside. Inside of the Dow, we'll focus there. We'll focus on the S&P as well. The Dow right now is up 96 points. Trade at 17,777. If you were a one-armed bandit right now, you'd be pulling that one-armed bandit and looking for the 777s to actually win you a jackpot. We'll see if that's a jackpot of a low or not. The S&P is off 5 points, trading at 2093. NASDAQ Composite still positive. That's up 3 points at 4936. Russell 2000 is up 4.5 points, trading at 1155. So you got the Russell to the upside, the NASDAQ Composite to the upside. Now, I will tell you, those two should be leaders to the downside in any kind of market that wants to get going to the downside, right? It's not the Dow. Now, the Dow certainly is going to impact us. That's the number that everybody reports upon, but it is odd. Is it not odd to you? It's odd to me that the Russell 2000 NASDAQ Composite, at least their message is not so fast, and we'll go see if that is a good message or not. The DAX closed off 71 points. She closed out the day at 10,263. The FTSE down 40 points, closed out at 6231. Gold is doing nothing. It's trading out at 1216.90. Silver's doing a little bit worse than gold. Well, a little bit more than a little bit worse. It's back 25 cents, trading at 1602. Light sweet crude is up 50 pennies, trading at 49.83. To the upside, dollar-wise, Amazon is really the leader out here, $9 and change, a little over 1%. Transdigem Group up 3%. Biogen up 7.50. LinkedIn is up $5. Interesting, you know, stocks that you would think, LinkedIn, in the case of LinkedIn, you think that might be moving lower. Certainly Biogen, it's not out here. And you got a lot of farmers that are to the upside. Is that because of a Celator being bought out, at $12? I don't know that that's really the driver behind that. Priceline is the leader dollar-wise to the downside up. Then I'm just thinking out loud. I was out of my captain's chair here for a bit. And so just really coming back fresh to the markets, which is the best way to really take a look at it. But before we continue doing that, let's go out to Texas and speak with Anna. Anna, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you doing today?
Great, thank you. Here in Florida, in Destin right now, vacationing.
Oh, great. So now is Destin a normal annual vacation for you?
Yes.
Oh, that's a beautiful area, folks. And now why Destin? You live in Texas, so how did Destin become your destination, so to speak, for a vacation, annual vacation?
My husband and I come here every year and stay in one of the hotels in on the beach. So
Yeah, you get those nice white sandy beaches up there, don't you?
we have fallen in love with this area. It's beautiful. It's like it's crystal clear when you are in the water. So
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, good for you. Well, you're on vacation, yet you're calling me about AT&T. So tell me how I can help so I can get you back on the beach.
Ford.
Ford. Oh, Ford. Okay. Okay, that's my fault. Well, but if you'd like to talk about AT&T, we can do that as well. But let's talk about Ford. Now, are you an owner of this stock, or what are you doing? How can I help you?
I am. I own it right now.
Okay. And are you in this over the long period of time? Tell me what your trader and your investment, and tell me what you're looking for.
It is a long term.
Okay. And
but
your
I'm a little low. I'm a little behind now. So
you're a little okay. So you're a little bit underwater on the investment inside of Ford. Let's just take a look at it. Since the month is coming to an end, it wouldn't hurt us to just look at a monthly chart for Ford. And as we take a look at it, and the one pattern that sticks out to me when I just pull up a monthly chart is this consolidation that it is in. And that consolidation extends from about the $18 range up at the highs. It had gotten back up to $18 back in 2011. And the low of the consolidation range is in the $9.50-ish type area. And so if we take a look at where Ford is priced right now, it's really right in the middle of that range out there. Let me put some volume bars on here just to get a feel as well as to what is going on now. Now, I would say that Ford, from a long-term standpoint, should have really good support. You don't want to hear this, but if it were for any reason to continue moving down, this should have really good support at 1044 to that 950-ish type area out here. And that just takes us back, in essence, to the August timeframe, like most of the market. In the case of Ford, it did 596 million shares to the downside. But this is trading with inside a range out here, and there's nothing that I see in looking at a monthly chart that would suggest to me that this is going to do anything more than be range bound. Doesn't mean that it's a bad, long-term investment or anything, but even here, really since the 2010 timeframe out here, so we're 2016, that's a tough time to ride out a consolidation. That's what the monthly chart. If I come over and take a look at the daily chart, just to get a feel for what this might be doing, the last time that Ford was up in the $13, $14 level was on March 4th. And on that specific date, and it did 31 million shares. The first time up to test it was back on April 28th, and it did it with 87 million shares. So on a daily perspective, that looks really nice. That looks, even though prices dropped down below the swing point that was out here from March 4th, moving higher with volume like that says that this more likely than not is going to move up towards the top of that monthly consolidation. And again, that number for you is right around the $18 level. Now, if you're watching this on a daily basis, some of the things that you don't want to see, you don't want to see this really get below 1307. If it does, you're probably looking at a move down to 1268. Are you able to spend just a little bit more time with me?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go back out to Destin. We'll speak with Anna. We'll see what questions that she might have that I've now posed. We're taking a look at Ford, which does look like it wants to run higher. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of The Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. I've got the Dow off about 93 points. We're on the line with Anna in Texas, who happens to be in Destin, Florida, at the moment on vacation. She's kind enough to call in. We're taking a look at Ford Motor Corporation. She's looking at this as more of an intermediate-term hold. So, Anna, the tough thing about an equity like this that is in a long-term consolidation is that that's really the pattern that is out here. And so to anticipate anything different until it breaks, either to the upside or the downside, just really more guesswork, I suppose. If this ever does break, either above or below the consolidation, you're looking at probably a 9-ish type dollar move, $9 to $10 above or below that level. At this stage, as I look at the daily time frame out here, it seems more plausible to me that price wants to run up into about the 14-ish area. What I'm focused on is on October 27th, when this thing had gapped down, and it did it with volume of about 64 million shares. So that may be about the extent of the run should it continue higher. To the downside, if I were not in Ford and I were looking to get into Ford, I would want to buy this probably in the 1130 type area out there, and that's about $2 to the downside. So I don't know if you have a full position or where you're at, but and I'm not saying that it's going down there. That's just an ideal place to. That's one of the ideal places to be able to buy Ford out there. So, what questions have I posed for you? In this little brief analysis of what I see Ford doing at the moment.
Well, I was thinking, since I'm kind of heavily vested, and my questions were, should I stay or should I go?
Well,
and so
that's a great question. I think somebody even has a song like that's out there.
Right.
But if we use inside the consolidation, maybe the best tools that I have that are available to me are taking a look at their market profiles. The market profiles help us to identify sometimes hidden levels of support and resistance. And right now, on a daily basis, price is above the top of its daily profile, which is priced at 1338. And I can tell you, to answer that question, should I stay or should I go, there is no reason at this moment that says that you should go. If you start to get below 1338, it says you should be looking for a test of about 1307, and below that says 1135, and then below that price area, well, 1135 would become that ideal spot. 1268, I should say, would be below the 1307. So at this stage here, it doesn't say to go. If you're at a stage where you're kind of at break even, in essence, you know, and you're in something here that's in a consolidation, you're kind of midstream, then there's nothing wrong with taking money off the table, because I couldn't convince you and take a look at the stock that this thing is going to explode to the upside or something along those lines. So,
right.
You know, it becomes, in consolidations, the easiest move in an equity that you want to get into or that you want to sell is to either sell at the top of the consolidation, which is, you know, in the $18 range, and that was back in 2014 as we speak, or buy from the bottom, and that happened to be back in 2012. You know, that's really what I would be looking for. So to the extent that your money's not really working well for you here, I can't make the case that it will work well for you over the course of any long period of time when I take a look at the Ford stock.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you bet. And enjoy your vacation. Thanks so much for taking time to call in. That was Anna, who is from Texas. So we got the Dow off 81 points, and S&P is down 3. And so now what you and I want to do is we want to try to figure out what's the real message of the market. You know, we have been anticipating, right? When you and I talked on Friday, we've said we're getting ready for the market to pull back. Now, the question becomes is what's the difference between a retracement and a market top? You know, and a retracement of market top is going to be what? It's going to be, market top. It could actually be a top, and for how long? What's the duration? And a retracement is something you would anticipate, expect, and you would be looking to be able to buy on the next retracement. So which is it that we have going on right now? And in order to answer that question, we have to look at a series of charts out here in order to really put this together. So we're going to start with, let's go take a look at the ES Mini. The S&P, which is back 3 points. But I want to look at the ES Mini because it certainly was trading during the the holiday period of time. So we've got data out here that provides us with wonderful information. Now, while Ann and I were on the phone out here, what the ES Mini was doing, the cavalry was coming out to say, not so fast when it comes to the downside. What do I mean? What I mean, and it's 1:23, so we've got 7 minutes left to see if this ends up being a key reversal bullish engulfing session, which it seems more likely than not that it will be, but we'll know in 7 minutes time. And if we take a look at the high that was placed out here inside the ES Mini, it took place at 11 o'clock on May 29th, 11 o'clock in the evening on May 29th out here. This was shortly after the market opened Sunday evening. That's when the high came in. Now, since that high was made, we have seen kind of a sideways move, right? Ann and I talked about a consolidation pattern. So one of the things that you and I know is here's the consolidation pattern, you know, give or take. And when you break a consolidation, just like we were looking at in the case of Ford, whichever way you break, you're going to do a move equal to or greater than the consolidation, what we like to call a measured move. Well, in this case here, the ES Mini went ahead and it did that measured move. It went beyond that measured move. And in doing so it did what it was supposed to do. Okay, so for during that consolidation period. But in moving lower this morning, early this afternoon, it was doing it with less relative energy. Remember we looked at the NASDAQ and the Russell 2000 and just said, something doesn't seem right out here, at least not just yet. Well, the ES Mini also says something doesn't seem right, not just yet. Now, from that high at 11 o'clock in the evening out here, this is live, J&J. This is not a replay. And if we take a look from 11 o'clock in the evening on Sunday, down to low that came in here at 12:30 this afternoon, we can see prices moving lower, doing it with less relative energy. You now have a bullish engulfing candle. If at 2 o'clock out here, this continues to be a bullish sign, and we get price added to it. It says that the ES Mini at least bounces up to 2096. You get above 2096 out here. We're looking at 2099. We may even be looking at the C point of an A to B equals CD to the upside out here inside of the ES Mini. I could paint the Gartley buy pattern that it would be forming. We could take a look at the A to B equals CD, but we're going to look at that to the downside that it would be confirming. But we want to go look at some of the other charts out here. But the ES Mini on the 30-minute chart right now is giving us a potential, I do say potential buy signal. We just have to be patient and wait for the time to play out on the candle sessions that we're in, and we happen to be looking at a 30-minute chart out here. Okay, so that's what it is showing. Let's go look at the Dow. So let's look at it, which has been much weaker than the ES Mini. Price in the Dow has been moving lower with energy. So we don't have a diverging pattern out here. So who's telling the truth, and truth or dare? And I don't know the answer to that. We're going to go try to figure that out. But clearly, and all we have in the case of the Dow, well, we have plenty. We have a buy pattern. That buy pattern would be an A to B equals CD to the downside. So from its price relative strength divergent top that formed out here, this is I'll give you the exact time that formed. So this had a topping pattern on the 30-minute chart. We can see that price was moving higher into the high that it formed at midnight. This is at midnight on today, May 31st out here. So midnight price was moving slightly higher, doing it less relative energy. We now have seen a 1 to about a 1 to 2.618, A to B equals CD to the downside. That's also extended. And you're getting a nice big old bullish engulfing key reversal session. That says bounce to 17,808 inside of the Dow futures contract. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 76. S&P is down a couple of points. The NASDAQ Composite up 13. Russell is up at 8 points. So in trying to figure out what the markets are doing out here, we've taken a look at the shorter-term equity futures contracts, the 30-minute contracts out here. We see two potential reversal patterns, bottoming type patterns out here. But let's go take a look at the Dow. Let's focus on the Dow. Let's first, before we go over and take a look at some of the individual Dow stocks, let's go take a look at its summation index. Let's go take a look at its advanced decline oscillator, which is the bottom panel here, which is still above zero. And when that is above zero, that tells us that it is the buyers that are in control. Now, price coming back and threatening that line as it did earlier, we're a little bit off the session lows. That would be normal. Closing below that zero line is problematic, at least problematic for the Dow out here. So what we want to watch is we want to be able to watch that line, want to understand what that message is at 4 o'clock today. Now, can the Dow take everything lower? Yeah, it probably can. Well, I'd say no, it definitely can. So we want to pay attention to it with regard to its message out here. But as we speak right now, this is nothing more, as we speak at the moment, nothing more than just a retracement that is going on inside of the market. Now, if we go take a look at some of the Dow stocks that are moving to the downside, I didn't get a chance to actually reorder them from top to bottom. I can tell you that 3M is the largest weighting inside of the Dow. So let's go take a look at 3M. It's off 65 cents, down about 0.4%. So let's go see what the largest weighting inside of the Dow is doing. And if we take a look at 3M, recently, back on April 19th, it made a high with about 1.8 million shares up at a $170 level. The next time that it was up there, it was with 1.8 million shares, so that's not too bad. Nice little reversal out here on May 26th with 1.5 million shares. So, testing the highs, doing it on light volume. So there's the top of the consolidation-ish type pattern out here. It made a low recently on May 19th. The swing point only has 1.6 million shares. You've done 653,000 a day. That says to me that the number one weighting inside of the Dow, 3M, it's actually pulling back today on light volume. Now, it's below its TAS market profile high out here of the weekly basis. So pulling back, this ought to find really good support at around 165, 166. That is the number one weighting. Goldman Sachs, GS, is the number two weighting inside of the Dow, and it's basically about flat for the day. So there's not a whole lot here that we can see other than closing above 160.78, your 159.60 would be bullish, short-term bullish. So not a whole lot here to worry about. IBM, or not a whole lot to worry about to the downside. At least that's its current message. IBM is trading, looks like slightly higher to unchanged out here. Now, this has tested a swing point from the date of April 4th. And that had 3.9 million shares. We're at 133, 1.5 million. Even if we double it, we can see that that's going to be a swing point. That's going to be a failure on price. It's going to be a failure on volume. The high there, by the way, was 153.52. So far, the high is 153.69. So we've gone over the high. If it closes underneath that high, does it on light volume, that would be a failure on price and volume. What does that mean? That means you can go back down to the top. If you can't bust them up, you try to bust them down. That says you could go back to the May 19th level out here. I don't know that that is the full-out message, at least at this stage of the game. This thing had moved higher with 4.3 million shares just a few days ago. So today's pullback inside IBM, number three weighting is light on volume. UNH, yeah, of course, it's a holiday out here. And so, we've got, but I will say that volume on the individual equities better to look at, especially in light volume, to understand what's going on versus the ETF structures out there. But that's just a Stevieism out here. Use that for what it's worth. And we look at United Health Group. That's the number four weighting, about 5% of the Dow. Made a high back on the trading day of April 20th with 7.3 million shares. Today, you're testing that area. You're not into it. You haven't actually tested. We don't have a failure on price at this stage because you haven't tested 135.11. Today's volume, it's pushing into that swing point. Of course, it's been in a swing point for a while. It's pushing on that rope. It's pushing on that high with light volume, 1.2 million shares today. But is there anything really overly bearish about this? The answer is positively not. Home Depot. Now, Home Depot is moving lower. Volume today, 2.1 million shares, moving into 8.2. So this thing is moving into a swing point with light volume. Now, nonetheless, Home Depot, the top of that swing point is 132.77. You're going to close below 132.77. it says you can still go test the low of that area, which is 130.02. So, but it is pulling back with light volume. Let's finish this off by taking a look at, well, let's look at two more. Boeing, BA, is the ticker symbol. That way we finish off the top 7, which represent 38% of the Dow. Now, Boeing has got some problems. If Boeing, because Boeing today has got 3.1 million shares, and it's going against a swing point from just a few days ago, May 23rd, which could be the B point of an A to B, equals CD to the downside. That has got 4 million shares. So this swing point is being hit with volume. It is at the bottom of its daily market profile, which should hold as support. Of course, if we're coming back with light volume, I would feel more comfortable with that. It should hold as support, but that's not what we have here. On the conservative approach here, but look at just the small, the junior-ish type A to B equals CD pattern at the low of 125.88 gets taken out. You're looking at a move most likely back to about the 118 to 114 to perhaps even 111 out here. So Boeing, for whatever reason, has got a few problems out here. Let's go take a look at Mickey D's. MCD is the ticker symbol. McDonald's, what do we know about it? This is moving into a swing point from the trading day of May 20th that had 9.7 million. Yeah, get doing 3.4 million right now. So you're moving back below that. And the area to watch, I don't care, volume, schmolium, volume or not. A close below 122.14 says you've got 119.67 written all over it, and perhaps even an A to B equals CD to the downside. I don't anticipate we're going to get the volume to confirm that pattern to the downside, but price will be the arbiter of where things are truly headed to. And you get below 119.67, then McDonald's is going to head back into the 114 to the 112 area and fulfill its A to B. In fact, you would say that McDonald's, if it were to do that, would pull back into this breakout area. That's more likely what it would be doing from October 22nd. That's somewhere between 108 to the 111 area. And if we look at just a monthly basis, let's at least put a monthly chart for McDonald's on the screen. We know that this thing completed and fulfilled a 1 to 1.618 A to B equals CD to the upside out here. Let me turn off these profiles so that it doesn't clutter the chart out here. Come on, work with us. I'm referring to my software. Okay. Let's go ahead and get rid of that nice A to B equals CD pattern out here. We don't need that on the screen anymore. And there's a nice trend line. That would be where price could fall to in the long term out here. There are some shorter term trends, much shorter term trends. So I don't know if I was going to go, whoops, how the heck did I do that? Let's put this on a weekly basis. It probably shows that trend. I'm just trying to take a look at some trends here. I can see that it's broken a shorter-term trend line, but, you know, that was quite a move here. I'm referring to coming off of the lows from August 24th. You know, if I draw that as a trend line, we can say that moved to the upside, which is somewhat parabolic-ish out here. But, you know, let me see on a monthly basis real quickly here. I've got about maybe 10 seconds. You know, here's what McDonald's has done on a monthly basis. It's got a nice key reversal at the end of an A to B equals CD to the upside. It says that this thing wants to pull back. Make sure if you're inside McDonald's that you've got some nice stops in place out here. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now, you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's off 83, S&P's off 3 points. Composites up 11. Russell 2000 is up 7 points out here. Let's. What do we want to look at? What do we want to look at next? So, what conclusions have we drawn at this stage? We've drawn the conclusion that the ES Mini is perhaps a chart that is going to be providing us with the best signal out here, in that price had been moving lower, doing less relative weakness, got a nice little bullish reversal signal that was at 130. Now we're coming into that important 2 o'clock session, and it just needs to hold the support level of 2092, 2091. And if really that's the downside. The upside, you want to see this thing as a brand new market profile. Looks like it's formed, but you want to see this thing get above 2095 out here at a minimum, and then 2097 if this has been nothing more than just a slight retracement out here. That's what the 30-minute chart is showing me. The 120-minute chart is saying, you know, not so fast, Steve-O. Because at this stage here, we've got this, so you got this nice little bearish crossover out here. This little, my Stevie's red line now below the little black line out there. You know, you want to pay attention to those crossovers. We can see that price here on the 2-hour time frame is below a market profile that should have held as support. So that's not a good sign that a bottom is in. Not here just yet. If I take a look at a 5-hour chart, 5-hour chart says watch the price point at 2089. 2089 and maybe a couple of ticks out there, 50 cents. If you get below that, then that says to me you've got a deeper retracement that is underway. Then to the exact level it will fall. Well, I would just go back and defer to the daily chart out here, and the daily chart will be the overriding factor that says you're looking at 2077. Now you're at 2093 right now. Watch that daily chart, because if that pattern fails, then what that says to me is that we're looking at a pullback to at least 2077. And you're, as I say, you're at 2093. So what does that make it? You know, I don't know, 16 points or so, something along those lines. That's what you should expect. That would be the minimum expectation of a retracement inside the market. We've been looking for, we've been anticipating that one was going to come, and the question really is this a top or not? We don't have, we have those signals that say that it could be a top, but we don't have any confirmations as we speak at this stage. You know, one of those confirmations could come from the Dow Advanced Decline Oscillator. It won't come from the NASDAQ. We're at higher highs today. right? So to the extent that you believe that the NASDAQ needs to be out in front pulling the market lower, well, guess what? It's not even close. It's advanced decline line has moved to a higher high as we speak today. So this is not giving us any signal that it's ready to pull back. The VIX index, we'll want to watch this here. And the VIX index, it has extraordinary resistance at $15.27 to $15.46 out here. So a good move inside the volatility index today. That's to be anticipated, quite frankly. And the reason is because, there is a discombobulating ink. I don't even know link, I should say. Ink, what the heck's ink? The issue that the VIX index has is the cash VIX, you can see 1454, and yet the furthest out futures contract that takes us into 2017 out here is priced at $21.50. Now that difference of $7, that's not huge out here, but it's a significant percentage, right? What is that? 7 divided by 21. What does that give us? About 30, 35%, something around there. When it gets to 50%, then that's an indication that the elastic band is going to snap. So we don't have that, but things need to come a little bit closer together. It's still a pretty wide spread between the furthest out futures contract, that being February 2017, which is priced at $21.05. Now, question inside the den out here says, Steve-O, will you take a look at A-Net out here? A-Net. So let's go take a look at A-N-E-T, which is Arista Networks. The monthly chart probably doesn't do us a whole lot of good, so let's get out of the monthly view. Let's go change that over into a daily view. Now, daily view looks pretty nice. And what Arista Networks is doing, is this the Arista Networks that's in the record business out there, J&J, Johnson & Johnson? And if we take a look at what Arista Networks has done, it's passed. It's not. Thank you. I didn't think that it was, but what the heck? It wasn't really called. It was called Arista Networks, isn't it? A Cisco competitor. Okay. Well, Arista Networks, A-Net, was able to get above a swing point for the trading day of February 29th, which had volume of 629,000 shares. And when this was taken out last week, it was taken out with volume. 834,000 shares. That is the confirmation of an A to B equals CD to the upside. When you can get past that swing point, that B point, with volume, then that says you're going to go make an A to B equals CD. Well, it already did that. So, which would have been 72.49, looks like the price projection. Nonetheless, looks like this is actually headed to its highs. And its highs out here, its most recent highs, I should say, December 31st, somewhere in the 73 to the 79.44 level. So if you're in this equity, look for support to hold on any kind of retracement. Look for support to hold at about 68.25, and look for this to go ahead and make its run for those highs. Let's pull this back on a weekly time frame, or put this onto a weekly time frame. See if there's any other message out here that we can see, and really nothing. I would expect that 79.22, and that's probably not a number that I gave you. I would expect that to be some pretty stiff resistance for ticker symbol ANET. Okay. And I might have jumped around, as I usually do, but we were talking about the VIX index. That's right. So we went from the VIX to take a look at Arista Networks. Again, I'm just looking for odd signals to to tell us. We've got to take a look at the Russell 2000. What we really need to do is let's do this here. I don't have to look for the chart. Let's just go ahead and make one up. Is the Russell 2000 is the small caps outperforming the large caps out here? And I don't know the question, but let's go find out. So we got RUT. Right, we want to go ahead and divide that by the RUI, right? Those would be the large cap. And let's see who is outperforming who. And we don't really want this, well, we can see right from here. That is, the small caps are outperforming the large caps. And I would ask you this question, is that bullish or bearish? And the answer would be that's bullish. When the small caps outperform the large caps, when they're out in front, there's no other way to interpret. And all I've done here is just divide one by the other to give us that mathematical equation as to who is outperforming whom. I'm not sure if that's proper grammar, but what we can see here is that the small caps are out in the lead, they're out in front, and that's actually a bullish message. So you would expect and anticipate if the market were going to top, if it's topping, interest rates going up, all those things. You got to ask yourself the question, why is the Russell 2000 outperforming the Russell 1000 out here? Must be because the market still has a bullish connotation and a message to it. That's my best estimate. If we go take a look at the IWM itself, see what it's doing, up 64 pennies with 16 million shares today. That is the weekly chart. We don't care about the weekly chart, do we? We want to take a look at the daily chart. You can see the IWM is taking on a swing point today from the trading day of April 27th with 24 million shares. You've got volume today inside this little booger. You're at 16 million shares out here. I don't care how you slice it, right? Or even how thin you slice it. There's always two sides to every piece of bread. Well, the second side to the piece of bread, which has got some nice butter on inside the IWM, it's confirming an A to B equals C to E to the upside. Very interesting. Schultz used to say that. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
It's 2016 and TFNN has a brand new programming lineup to kick things off. Starting January 4th, swim lessons by Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade will be airing 5 days a week at noon Eastern Time. Join hosts Scott Connor, Kevin Hinks, and Cindy Faber as they host their daily options program live at noon 5 days a week with no commercials for the entire hour. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark will be moving their program, Living a Primal Lifestyle, to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Wake up with Nico and Paige and start your day off right. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour by Nadex will now be live Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Start and end the week with the 3 hosts, Tom O'Brien, Tommy O'Brien, and Daryl Martin, as they break down the world of trading binary options and spreads. For all the details on the new 2016 programming lineup, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Join David Dwight as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
Dow's up 91 right now, S&P down 4. So as we go into this last segment here, we were taking a look at the IWM just before the break, and we were looking at a swing point that's being approached with similar volume. When it's all on a straight line basis, a similar volume, meaning the trading day of April 27th, that had volume of 24 million shares out there. And by the time you're all said and done today, you're on a run rate of about 24 million shares out here. Give me a second here. So, but that's, the IWM should be leading things lower. It's not. So that says that's something to be paying attention to out here. Now, where could the IWM be headed to? Well, I would have to say no reason for it to not head back in the 119 area out here. You are at 115.21 as we speak right now. Now, the Qs also trading to the upside. Light volume, of course, you anticipate that. You expect that. What the Qs are doing is they're repairing a broken window. What's a broken window? When you gap down, that's what we like to call a window. It's also referred to as a window. This thing gapped down on the trading day of April 22nd with 39 million shares. You're up today with 10 million shares. We don't have to do the math. We know that it's going to be light volume, but the reality is any close above 110.15 today, volume or not, says you've repaired the window and that the old resistance should become new support. So watch the 110.15 level. What happens if the Qs close below 110.15? Well, that's going to be testing an area where things had broken down and doing a light volume. That would be a failure out here. But in order to really fail, you need to see the Qs getting below 108.07 out here. And so that's what we've got going on inside the Qs. Let's respond to something there. And with regard to the SPYs, let's just go take a look at it. Trading back with 43 cents out here. This dealing with a swing point recently formed back on April 20th. That had 81 million shares. Today you've done 44. So light volume as it's coming into that level. Has not tested the high, which is 210.92. So far, the trading high today is 210.69. So just missing it so far by about 30 cents out here. So, what are we going to do out here? We do not have any confirming message in the markets. There's nothing universal. There's nothing that has been thrown down that says that this is anything more at 1:56 p.m. than just your garden variety retracement out here. We start to see things shift, and this turns to the bad kind of turnaround Tuesday at the end of the day, and the NASDAQ and the Russell 2000 start to participate to the downside. Then we have a whole different message. But at this stage of the game, that is not the message. Take a look at a couple of gold equities before we close out the show. Rand Gold out here. Rand Gold trading a bit higher today, doing it with volume of 586,000 shares. What is it doing? Not a whole heck of a lot. This thing it broke down with 2.6 million shares back on May the 4th out here. So gold, as we said, not doing much out here. My expectations up $2. I expect gold to bounce. I expect gold. I was just going to look for that chart. Where is that chart? Son of a gun. It's not here. I will give you a target. I can do this. I know I can do this. I've got about a minute. I need to pull up a different chart. It is on a different screen out here. Let's go ahead. Let's put the August contract out here. I expect that we're going to see gold bounce to $12.38. That's $30 higher. And people are going to think that the move to the downside is over out here. And Stevie is saying not the case. That becomes the next point to short gold. But what do I expect? I'm anticipating a nice bounce inside of gold. You got the dollar index up 315 ticks today. She's trading 95.81. But gold is not done going further to the downside. Not by any stretch of any imagination. Folks, stay tuned. I know we're going to play something good in the David White slot, the Polar Bear slot. He'll be back with you tomorrow. Hope you had a great holiday weekend. And I look forward to seeing you on Wonderful Wednesday. Take care, folks.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date active trading information that will will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.